Good afternoon to all of you, our viewers, our listeners. So, this afternoon we are going to discuss a brand new topic, relatively new topic, and that is about the so-called master plumbing. No? So we have a new section in our channel, and that is uh, plumbing and piping. No? So Engineer Charlton Inaw, or Professor Charlton Inaw, created a new section, and that is the so-called plumbing. Yeah, can I write here? Yeah, plumbing and piping. Right. So plumbing and piping, and this is part of the whole engineering discipline. The first is plumbing. We are going to take up the master plumbing per se, the master plumbing practice in the Philippines, including the board exam, and later on the piping, like the piping discipline. It's a very broad topic, the piping and instrumentation drawing, no? P and ID, piping and instrumentation drawing. It's part of the plant process, no? Or instrumentation and control engineering in process plant. But first, we have to discuss first the plumbing, now especially the plumbing practice in the Philippines, and the profession of master plumber, no, or all the discipline that has to do with the plumbing process discipline. So now this is the one. Master plumber. We are going to discuss the topic about master plumber, and what are the topics that we are going to talk about now. So this is just the first of the series. We will have a series of presentations and video about plumbing and piping, and this is going to be the first one. Okay. So we will continue about this master plumber thing, master plumber discipline. So we have an outline about master plumber, and these are the following. So for this particular session, we are going to discuss the following. So about the master plumbing, master plumbing. Uh, the law governing the creation of this plumbing regulation, no, or the practice of master plumbing. What law is there in the Philippines that governs this master plumbing practice? Then, what is really the profession of a master plumber? What does he do, or what does she do? You know? Then the licensure exam from the Philippine government, the Professional Regulation Commission requirements, and the plumbing code. We will run through very quick uh, to the content, or the chapters in the plumbing code, or more specifically the revised plumbing code of the Philippines. Then who can take the licensure exam? No, who can take the licensure exam for the master plumbing profession? And also the last one, we will discuss, or we will answer some of the practice problems or sample problems uh, given in the board exam under the practical problems. So we will take all that now in just a short while. So, master plumber. So the law in the Philippines that governs the regulation of this discipline or practice is Republic Act 1378. No, so this is the law. So I think this law was created or promulgated as early as 19 1955. Yeah, so as early as 1955. Okay, so now here is the copy of the law, no, in this website, no, the Lawfield Project under the Arellano Law Foundation. There is this Republic Act number 1378, an act to regulate the trade of master plumber. Okay, so this is called the plumbing law. So the plumbing law, what is the Republic Act 1378? No, 1378. So this is 1378. So if you want to read the law and how is the trade or the discipline governed, what is the content or coverage, so this is it. Yeah, so this is it. Now, so the Philippine Congress uh, created this law, the Senate House and the House of the Representative. So I'll just read this. No? I'll just read this description. The practice of plumbing within the meaning and intent of this act shall embrace the services in the form of consultations, designing, preparation of plans, specifications, estimates, erection, installation, and supervision of work, including the inspection and acceptance of materials used therein, extension and alteration of all pipings to fixtures, appliances, and appurtenances in connection with any of the following: storm and sanitary drainage. No? Storm and sanitary drainage. Let me write down this no, because these are the important terms. Storm and sanitary drainage. And then, what is this? Connection with any public disposal. This one. Connection with any public disposal or any acceptable terminal. The enumeration in this paragraph shall not be construed as excluding any other work requiring plumbing knowledge and applications. The term master plumber, as used in this act, shall mean a person duly registered with the Board of Examiners for Master Plumbers in the manner as hereafter provided. So, so yun po ang ating batas, no? Republic 1378 sa Master Plumber. Yan. Ngayon, meron tayong mga ibang batas. We have other law that pertains to other discipline. For example, I am a mechanical engineer and the law governing my profession is Republic Act 8495, no? So it is a law created a long time ago, but of course, during the course of time, the Congress, uh, the lawmakers could amend, no? Pwede nilang baguhin, pwede dagdagan o bawasan, no? So this law is Mechanical Engineering Act of 1998. 1998. 1998. Yeah. So Republic Act 8495, Mechanical Engineering Law. Meron din naman sa Clean Water Act. Clean Water Act is Republic Act 9275. So it is a relatively new, relatively new because this is only passed during the term of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in 2004. Yeah, this one, no? So 2004. So Clean Water Act, that is Republic Act 9275, which is pretty much related to Master Plumbing, no, or Plumbing Act, no. So Clean Water Act tungkol sa mga tubig, no, sa pagdi-dispose ng tubig. So halimbawa dito sa mga ilog, mga dagat, no, bakit hindi tayo dapat magtapon, no, ng mga basura, no, natin mapapanatiling malinis yung mga bodies of water na yon. At ganun din yung mga tubig na galing sa industrial plant, no, halimbawa sa planta. Pag nagtapon ka ng tubig, dapat malinis, hindi harmful sa environment, no. So at marami pang iba. So we have to really read the law or the provision of the law by heart so that we could appreciate and we could understand the content of this law, no. And another is this is Clean Air Act, no? Clean Air Act. Ito naman ay RA 8749, no? Republic Act 8749. For example, yung mga pollution, no, mga pollution sa tubig, sa hangin, like yung mga sasakyan, no, smoke belching. Ano yung dapat na content ang pwede natin lang ipalabas, halimbawa ng carbon monoxide or sulfur oxide, no, or yung mga ibang pollutants, no. So malalaman natin diyan sa Republic Act 8749 yung mga lumalabas sa mga usok sa planta, no. Yung planta kasi, pag industrial plant, meron niyang smokestack or chimney, no. So gaano kalaki ang smokestack, gaano kataas, at ano lang yung mga pinapayagan na lumabas doon na mga gases, no, mga harmful gases. Meron lang certain limit 'yon. So napapaloob 'yon dito sa ating Clean Air Act, which is RA 8749. Ganun din yung Solid Waste Management Act. Ito ay Republic Act 9003, no? So 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Program, creating the necessary institutional mechanism and incentives, declaring certain acts prohibited and providing penalties, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. So itong Solid Waste Management Act, ito bawal na magtapon sa ilog, no, o magkalat, no? Bawal na magsunog ng mga solid na mga basura, na hindi ka basta-basta pwedeng magsunog ng mga basura kahit sa loob ng bahay mo, ay bahay ng bakuran mo o sa labas. Hindi na pinapayagan 'yan according to this law, no. So Republic Act number 9003, no. So etong mga batas na to, tong Solid Waste Management, yung Clean Air Act, tsaka Water Act, no, sila ay related lahat dito sa Master Plumbing, no, sa Master Plumbing Act. Kasi sa Master Plumbing, we are discussing about solid, for example, solid waste, no, and then yung mga water, no, yung wastewater, sewage, yung mga lumalabas sa bahay at saka sa mga planta, tas yung mga tubo na kailangan, mga pump na kailangan, paano magsa-size ng pump, ng mga tubo, no, ano yung mga chemicals, ano yung mga na kailangan, ano yung mga nabubuo na mga gases, no, na harmful sa environment at sa mga tao. So lahat 'yan ay related sa ating Master Plumber law, which is Republic Act 1378, no, since 1955, no, according to research. Ito yun, no, 40 years ago, 40 years ago, our Congress enacted this Republic Act 1378, known as the Plumbing Law, which regulates the trade of master plumbers. So binanggit diyan mga high school graduate with 5 years plumbing experience noon ay nagdo-dominate sa trade, no? Pero ngayon, we are gonna discuss kung sino yung pwedeng maging master plumber, no? Kasi nagbabago nga yung provision ng batas, na upgrade natin yung mga provision, no? Na nag-upgrade tayo ng mga skill due to high demand, no? Quality demand ng profession. So board exam, we are going to discuss the board exam for the master plumber. So in order to be called a master plumber, now master plumber, you should be able to pass the board exam or licensure exam. So etong licensure exam na to ay 2 days, no? 2 days. And then meron siyang mga major components, no? Or core subjects, no? Or core topics. Yan. So let us discuss that, no? So in the 2-day exam, no, day 1 and day 2, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 4 core topics, no? So yung apat na topics na dapat maipasa ay eto: plumbing arithmetic, plumbing code, sanitation plumbing design and installation, or SPDI. So we call this SPDI. Then practical problems. Ito ay 40%, no? So 40%. So isa-isay natin to. We discuss this one by one. So ito ay 10%. So arithmetic, 10%. Then code, no? Para this the book, the Bible of the profession, only 10%. Then SPDI, sanitation, plumbing, design, and installation, which is a bigger part, 40%. So all this is going to happen in day 1. Okay? So day 2, half day only, mga kalahating araw, is the practical problem. So mga problem solving, mga design, pero lahat ng ito naman ay uh, kind of multiple choice. So we will be given tables and instructions and data to solve the problem. So if you're going to add this 10 and 10, 20, then 40 plus 40. Now, so 10, 10, 40, 40. So if you pass this, then you will be now regarded or awarded this license of master plumber. Okay? So, paano ba to makakapasa? No? Paano tayo makakapasa rito? At sino ba yung nagtitake nito? No? Sino ba yung nagtitake nito? Di-discuss natin yan. No? So, eto nga ang mga percentage, no, ng apat na core subjects sa plumbing, master plumber licensure exam, no? Plumbing arithmetic, plumbing code, sanitation plumbing design and installation, and then yung practical problem. Ngayon, wala namang nag-o-offer ng plumbing engineering, no, sa Pilipinas. It is not a course that is like a formal degree course under CHED, no? Hindi, wala kang makikitang syllabus ng plumbing sa CHED. Wala. So siguro sa mga ibang kurso like baka civil engineering or environmental and sanitary engineering, merong mga particular provision or mga subjects sa kanila na nati-take up tungkol sa plumbing and environmental and water, no? Water sanitation and treatment, like that, no? Pero wala tayong formal na na kurso sa plumbing engineering, no? So hindi pa ito talaga kurso like mechanical or civil or electrical. So ngayon, ang mga nagtitake nito karamihan ay mga professional na, no? Like mga civil engineering, no? Civil engineers, architectures, mechanical, meron ding electrical, no? And mining at iba pa, no? I-discuss natin na mamaya 'yan. So before we go to that topic, tingnan natin yung scope naman muna ng plumbing licensure exam, no? Dahil eto na yung summary. Tingnan natin yung detalye based on the provision given by the PRC, no? Yung Professional Regulation Commission. So eto yung plumbing code, I mean syllabus, no? Based on the plumbing code na pinagkukuhanan ng licensure exam based sa PRC. So I got this from the the PRC website, no? PRC website. Okay? So sa exam, ito yung pwedeng mga tanong, no, na mga panggalingan na paksa or topics. Code of Ethics, permits, plumbing terms, no, marami yan, plumbing terms, general regulations, quality and weight of materials, joints and the connection. Ano ba tong mga joints na to? Yung mga joints, no, halimbawa yung mga nipple, mga T-joint, no, reducer, di ba? So ito yung mga joints yan, traps and clean out, mga grease trap, no, P-traps, clean outs. Water supply and distribution, yung mga linya ng distribution ng tubig. Plumbing fixtures, no? Kung familiar ka sa mga fixtures, no, na ginagamit sa plumbing. Ventilation of rooms and fixtures, no? Basically yung movement ng air, ventilation of rooms. Minimum trap diameters, drain size and fixtures. Unit tables. Maximum fixtures unit on one stock. Maximum permissible height and size of vents, no? Mga size ng vent, construction of a septic vault or septic tank, no? Or septic chamber, hot water and steam waste, kasama yung mainit na tubig at yung steam, house drain and house sewer, then horizontal branches, special waste, inspection and test, then testing and inspection, right? And special provisions. So, etong mga topic na to ang pwedeng mga topic ng exam, no? O yung pagkuhanan ng mga tanong during the exam, no? So, this one is the ano ba to? Schedule, no? Schedule of examination ng Master Plumbing. So, this one schedule sa Master Plumbing, the schedule is being done, or the exam is being done twice a year. So we have this February exam and July. Okay? So katulad nito, like this, we have February, no? February, then the day is 20 and 21, no? Saturday and Sunday. So these are the places. For example, National Capital Region, Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, Davao, Iloilo, Legazpi, and Tacloban, yung mga major cities. Now, there is this start or opening of online registration. Last year, I think, nag-start na November 20, 2020. And the deadline is January, no? So, next week na, January 2020, no? But this year is pandemic. Last year it was postponed. We do not know yet what's gonna happen in January 2021 for those who are scheduled to I mean, what's gonna happen on February 20 and 21, for those who are scheduled to take the exam. So if I may reiterate, the schedule is twice, not a year. One is February, the other is July. So it's a 2-day exam. Two-day exam. Okay. So the one regulating the profession of master plumber, no, it's under PRC, no, Professional Regulation Commission, and the PRC, they have different board, no. So board of examiners. So in this one, board of examiners for master plumber. So normally there's a chairman and there's a three member, no? One, two, three. So this one, and this one. So uh, this is chairman, chair, no, board of examiner, and there are three members now, member, member, and member. Okay. So these people, these officials are the ones who are going to issue your license, no. So that is the regulation, no, coming from the board of examiners, from the PRC board of examiners for master plumbers. So look at this. This is under coming from the professional regulations in Manila. So from the PRC website, um, this is about the upcoming exam on February 21. So that's the schedule, now the original schedule. So this one. So here is the subject, no? So in day one, for example, in the first day, Saturday of February 20, which is Saturday now. So this one is Saturday, February 20. So you have to take the three subjects, no? I mean the two, because this one is just the filling out, no, administrative work, filling out of forms. So here, plumbing arithmetic, no, plumbing arithmetic, no, yung mathematics of plumbing, only 10%. Then sanitation, plumbing design, installation, 40%. Plumbing code is 10%. Practical problem, no, practical problem is 40%. No? So in order to understand this, so this is 100% all in all, you know. So you must have greater than or more than the total score, no. You have to have more than 70%, no, in order to pass this, no, because each each profession has a rule, and I think much of the general rule in the engineering field is this, no. So more than 70, or it should be, you should get a score of more than 70%. And there's another provision, for every course or subject, it should not be lower than 50%, no? So it's, so you should have more than 50% for every field. Okay. So for example, I'll just make an example so that we could understand. For example, in arithmetic, uh, you have kind of let us say, mm, 80%, no. Then this one is sanitation, plumbing design, and installation, you are 49%. Then plumbing code, you are 99%. Then this one is 95%. So you have a very good rating, no, but still you will not pass because one of your subject is lower than, no, lower than 50%, and lower than 50% is not allowed, no. So every course should have a score of more than 50%, no? So that is their rule, no? So you have to bear in mind that rule, no? So for example here, assuming, no, let us assume that the number of questions equals the percentage, no? For example, here in 10% you have 10 questions, right? 10 questions, no? So this one is 40 questions, then 10 questions, and 40 questions. It's just a assumption, right? Just to simplify the discussion. So all in all, you have how many questions? 50, 60 plus 40, 100, no? So 100% and 100 questions. So equals 100 questions, okay? So what do we mean by this is you should have a score of more than 50% for all this, right? So you don't have to have like half of or less than half, no, or more than half of the scores are wrong, no? So for example, 10 questions, no, you should have more than 5. 40 questions, more than 20 correct, right? Correct answers. 10 questions, you have more than 5 correct answers, maybe 6, 7, 8. Then 40 questions, you may have more than 20 correct, in order to pass, no? So more than 50% uh, for every subject. You should not be lower than 50%, no? So it should be for example, in these 10 questions you can have 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this one is 21, it could be 30, 35, 39. 10 questions, you should have 7 or 6 or 5 or 8. But if you happen to have 4, no, 4 correct only, then you will be fail, you will fail, no? You will fail the exam because the rule is not less than 50%, no? So if you have 10 questions, then you're wrong, your mistake is 6, 7, 8, then you will fail, no? So you are only allowed to have 50% less less error or mistakes. Okay, so I think that is clear by now. So we go to this example. So this is just reiterating the percentage. Now arithmetic is 10%, then 40% is sanitation, plumbing, design, and installation. Plumbing code is 10%. You see, this plumbing code is only 10% now, but you have to study this by heart because all these are under the code, the practical problems, plumbing code, plumbing design and sanitation. So all of them are coming from the code itself, no? So this could be having less percentage, but they are interrelated to each other, and you should or we should know the code by heart. Now that's the meaning of it. Now, so arithmetic, if I may reiterate, is 10%. Then SPDI, sanitation, plumbing, design, and installation is 40%. Then code is 10%, and this practical problem is 40. So a total of 100%, but you should have 70%, greater than 70% to pass, no? The total score. And then each subject score should not be less than 50%. So it should be more than 50%, 60, 70, or 80. Now, if you are less than 50, then you will fail the exam. So that is the rule of the PRC. So now, here is the continuation of the PRC memorandum. Okay, plumbing is 10%, SPDI sanitation plumbing design and installation is 40%, plumbing code is 10%, then practical problems is 40%, a total of 100%. So what is plumbing arithmetic and what are the contents? So algebra, now when we talk of algebra, it's a pretty much broad topic. So algebra, oh, there are a lot of topics here, no? So solving for x and y. Then there's also this polynomials, no? Anything you can think of, trigonometry, algebra, finding x, and there are also worded problems. So age problems, mixture problem, yeah, time, no, or clock problem, then work problem, work in a day, and so on and so forth. Then trigonometry, the angles and so on. Geometry, no, for example, geometry, the figures, the different figures. And then physics. Physics is a much larger branch of science. It encompasses everything like light, heat, uh, then motion, force, pressure, and so on. Now, so arithmetic, when we talk of financial arithmetic, so if you want to be a master plumber, you should understand about economics. No? So it's kind of another term, another um, term for this is engineering economy. No? For example, uh, how do you do the business, the interest, return, investment, rate of return, then the present value, no? The present value, and then the future value, and so on, and so forth. So this is always given. So the terminology is also included in the terms. So terminology in engineering economics. So fluid mechanics, that is the nearest subject for master plumbing, because master plumbing most of the time we'll talk about fluid, no, or water, and then of course the pipings and so on, the connections. So engineering economy is we already discussed this. So this is the financial arithmetic. Okay, the interest, the net present value, the future, the break even, and so on. So this is the example of plumbing arithmetic. Now, just to give you an idea of the questions. For example, how many 20 millimeter diameter pipe is equivalent to a 100 millimeter diameter pipe for them to be equal? So can we answer this if we are going to take the exam? How many 20 millimeter diameter is equivalent to a 100 millimeter diameter pipe? Okay, so there are two pipes. One is 20 millimeter and the other is 100 millimeter diameter. So the approach here is by area, no, not by length, because the one given um, here is the data is given here is the diameter, no. So if you have a 20 millimeter diameter and you have a 100, no, I mean, in order to be equivalent to this 100 millimeter diameter, how many 20 millimeter diameter will be needed, no? So you can have this if you are going to use that with reference to uh, its area, no, its area. Okay, so it doesn't say about annular or inside diameter. It talk about only the 20 millimeter diameter, for example here, and this is like a 4 inches, no, 100 millimeter, yeah, 100 millimeter diameter. So the question is log of 1000, no, the logarithm of 1000. So you can pretty much answer this, no? Then this one, an association of two or more individuals for the purpose of operating a business as co-owners, no? So two or more, no? So I think the answer there is partnership, no? Okay. So 1 gallon, how many pounds? No, so you can answer that if you know. So how many pounds in 1 gallon? 1 gallon equals how many pounds? I think 7.38. Let us check. No, just to show you the type of exam in the board exam. So pounds, how many pounds in 1 gallon? So here we have a scientific calculator. You can go to the um, conversion converter. So here, pounds, gallons, no? So how many example gallon do we have gallon here? Pound, gallon, pound, 1 pound, gallon. So I think it is not a direct conversion because it's kind of tricky because gallon is a unit of volume and pounds is a unit of weight or pressure. So if you go to the Wikipedia, you can ask, no, how many pounds in 1 gallon? Okay, yeah. So it's a 8.34, no? So there is 8.34 pounds. Yeah. So it says here 8.34 pounds in 1 gallon. So you should be able to memorize this. So the answer is D, right? 8.34 something, or the nearest here is 8.35 pounds in 1 gallon. No, so there is another here. Rectangle reservoir has the following dimension: length, width, and height. What is the maximum volume of water that can be accommodated in the tank? So it's just the volume, no, length, width, height. So it's a volume problem. A grocer paid 360 for some crates of fruit. 4 crates is spoiled on nabulok, no, meaning it's not good to be used anymore and have to be thrown away. But he sold the rest of at an increased price of 2 pesos a crate, gaining 88. How many crates? No, how many crates are there, and so on. So these are the types of arithmetic. So it can range from different branch of mathematics, no, algebra. As I will repeat, no, it could be finding x, y, polynomials, solving for x, then age problem, mixture problem, time clock, work physics, economy, and others. Now the next is yeah, this is also, before we go to the next, this also under arithmetic, no, it's a series, sum of, no, 3 6 9 up to 171. So basically you are going to sum up the series, no, from 3, no, then up to 171. So what kind of series is this? So this series is arithmetic, no, because they have common difference. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, and then until you reach 171, no? So the first is given 3, the last is given. If you know the formula, you can have the the summation, no? So we should know the formula for this. So this one is another about fluid, no, horsepower of a pump, no. So what is this? Okay, the number of persons using, then there's a gallon of water, which is um, the volume, no, and this is the head, 150. Then what is the horsepower? So here you should know the formula for the horsepower, no. So normally it's uh, horsepower, no? P equals gamma H, like that, yeah. So then here is the what is the phase of a hexahedron. Hexa means 6, no? So what is the phase of hexahedron, no? So I think the answer is square hexa, no? For the 6 phase, the equal polygon, no? So square. Then employee salary increase percentage, amount of money, no? So it's like the I told you, present value or future value. So this also, no, compound, no, interest, simple interest and compound. Then here is the definition or term: decrease in the value of physical property due to the passage of time. I guess the answer here is depreciation, no? So these are the type of arithmetic, no? Now, how about the SPDI, or sanitation, plumbing, and design? So these are the kind of questions. If I may read, what is that appurtenant structure installed at the basement floor of a building in which wastewater are drained? No, so you have to choose whether it is sump pit, septic tank, catch basin, or floor drain. Then interconnection of sewer service pipe into a sewer main is made by punching the sewer main a hole to fit the sewer service. In what point on the sewer main does interconnection made? No. So those kind of questions. The saddle clamp at this one. How far should a septic tank be constructed away from the water supply source to prevent contamination? So there's a septic tank and there's a supply of water. So what is this distance? No, so we should be able to answer that kind of question. This one, the soil brand piping installed in horizontal run must be supported by iron hanger as at close interval to provide sagging. What is the distance apart the hangers? No, so those are the kind of questions. Another is, what is the minimum horizontal distance required between vent terminal and window opening of a building? So there's a window opening of a building, then there's a vent terminal, meaning yung vent, no, yung pipe, no, where the air is discharging. So anong distance, no, horizontal distance. So those are the kind, no. So another is plumbing code, no, 10%. And as I told you, for those who are taking the Master Plumber exam, should know the plumbing code by heart. Now, because the core or the heart of the 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 subject or the course, no. So the code, revised national code, I think it was just revised in 2001, 2000. And of course you should be able to uh, have further reading on the Clean Air Act or Clean Water Act, which is more updated, no, 2004. 2004, no, Clean Water Act, yeah. So in this plumbing code, there are 22 chapters, no, core chapters, 22 principles. And we will enumerate here the 22 principles or chapters. Look at this, no, 22 basic principles of plumbing code, no. So clean water. So if you read the code, the principle number 1 is about clean water, number 2 is volume and pressure, not the volume of water and the pressure. Then efficiency. Number 4 is explosion. Why explosion? Because there is a lot of explosion that may happen in the plumbing. Now, for example, the pipe, no, the pipe may explode due to overpressure, or the tank, or the gases, no, because the waste, for example, the human waste, no, could emit some gases, and if there's a spark, it could explode, no? So it is also under the code. Sower is number 5. Number 6, plumbing unit. You should know the different plumbing units. Then ventilation, no, how does the air move, no, freely in a system. No, for example, if you flush in the water closet or sa inodoro, no, where does the air go? No, anong mangyari sa hangin, no, papuntang septic tank, no, anong nangyari dun sa mga tubo na dinadalo yun ng tubig tsaka hangin, no? Kaya may mga tinatawag na mga clog or may mga water hammer, no? Biglang nag-iingay yung ating system. So, kailangan malinaw yung daloy ng hangin at tubig sa mga tubo. Then clean outs, we are going to study also later the clean outs as part of the code. Then the organization that is duly accredited to the master plumbing profession is NAMPAP. NAMPAP stands for National Master Plumber Association of the Philippines. So NAMPAP. Then this is trap, no, different kind of traps, the P trap, the grease trap, no, different kind of traps. Air circulation, no, related also sa mga vents and sa ventilation. Vent terminals, nandyan din. Test or inspection. How do you test? How do you test the pressure? How do you test the the system? How do you test the pressure that can uh, that the vessel, no, can withstand, like the tank or pressure vessel. So there are testing that are being administered for this. Sewage harm, no, harm or yung danger ng sewage. Contamination, mga bacteria, no, mga contamination na inaalaw lang sa mga plumbing and sanitation. Then this one, water closet light, no, WC is water closet. Septic tank, how do you design a tank? No? So right now, in 2004, according to Clean Water Act, no, the number of chamber in the septic tank should be three, no. So one is digestive, the other is settling, no, and settling. So settling tank na, hindi na yung ano, yung leaching, na kasi leaching is papasok pa yun sa lupa, no. So ito ay merong settling, tas settling, no, there are two chambers, and then pwede kang maglagay ng sand, no, para lalong ma-filter, para paglabas sa labas ay pwedeng gamiting pandilig or malinis talaga, no. So the design of a septic tank, pumapasok yun sa SPDI, no. Pwedeng pumasok sa SPDI kanina yung ito, sanitation plumbing and design, no. Pwede rin namang pumasok sa code kasi nandun sa code yung mga provision, at pwede rin namang pumasok sa practical, no. So practical uh, practical problems, no. So practical problems. So yun nga yung pang-apat ay sandali, nasaan na ba dito, yan, septic tank number 17. Let us finish this. The number 18 is sewage backflow, no, sewage backflow. There's a provision for the design for the backflow, no. So this one is the RMP, ano ba yung RMP? Registered Master Plumber. Then accessibility, no? Accessible or structural stability. For example, ng isang tank o ng mga piping series, mga design of pipings na sewage treatment. How do we treat the sewage, no? For example, sa mga industrial or commercial structures, residences. So practical problem, may sample tayo rito. We have samples here. Practical problem. So it's just multiple choice, no, because it's to be checked by computer, no. Kaya ABCD lang, ABCD yung pag-shade. So pero you have to solve so that you end up in the correct answer. So you need speed and you need accuracy. Now for example here, we could answer this remove bars from the inside ends of a galvanized pipe, no? So what is that device that removes bar from the inside from inside from the inside ends of a galvanized pipe? So knife ba, or hacksaw, or reamer, or pipe top? So in this kind of question, you can do some process, no? For example, process of elimination, no? May eliminate mo, or context, no? Context reading or understanding. Of course, knife, you can eliminate knife, no? Hindi yan makakapag-alis ng mga bars. Yung mga bars, yung mga pagkalagari, pagkalagari sa tubo, no? May mga hindi kailangan na grains or natitirang mga metal. Hacksaw, hindi naman, no? Kasi hacksaw is lagaring bakal to. Yung pipe top, hindi. Kasi pipe top is paggawa to ng thread, di ba? So, ang natitira na lang is yung reamer, no? Which is the correct answer. Ay, the reamer, no? So, ito naman, the ends of a copper tubing are cleaned to a bright shine with what? No? So, 81, ano yung sagot sa 81? Copper tubing are cleaned to a bright shine, no? Para mapakintab mo yung copper tubing, hindi pwedeng steel brush kasi magaspang yon. Sandpaper, water, malayo na to, no? So, eto, no? Ang pinakamalapit ay emery cloth. Okay? Then, where should you apply the soldering flux to form a solder joint to a rigid copper tubing? Where should you apply the soldering flux to form a solder joint for a rigid copper tubing? So, sa 82, ano yung answer natin dyan? So, outside the pipe and inside of fitting, outside pipe and only, outside pipe and fitting, and inside fitting only. So, ang answer dyan ay outside of pipe and pipe end, the outside ng pipe end at inside ng fitting, no? Inside ng fitting. So, isang sample po, where does the soldering of a rigid copper tubing joint require the torch heat to be placed? Where does the soldering of a rigid copper tubing joint require the torch heat to be placed? So, where do you place the torch heat, no? So, ano ang answer natin diyan? Doon sa fittings, no? Ito sa number 83 is fittings. Yan. Ito, confined spaces are hazardous environments because they usually have explosive atmospheres, flood hazards, limited room for maneuverability, restricted access, and egress. So, confined spaces, no? Are hazardous. Bakit ba mapanganib yung mga maliliit na spaces? Kung titingnan natin, eto explosive, wala naman, no? Wala naman maglalagay agad ng explosive doon. Flood, malayo to, no? Maliit lang yung spaces, wala namang flood doon, no? Limited room for maneuverability, malapit, pero ang pinaka-exact answer ay restricted access and egress. Ibig sabihin, yung dadaanan mo, ng pagpasok mo, kung papasok ka, tsaka yung paglabas ay napaka-limitado. Yung confined spaces, halimbawa, may mga emergency, no? May gas leak, may sunog, no? So, hindi ka agad makakakilos, no? So, yun ang answer. So, yun yung mga type ng questions doon sa mga apat na subjects na binigay. So, ulitin natin, yung una ay arithmetic, pangalawa ay yung plumbing code, no? Mga plumbing code, dapat sa ulado yung mga tables, mga provisions, tsaka yung mga major principles, no, pati yung sequence niya. Then yung code, yung code, ito nga. Tapos yung SPDI, no, Sanitation, Plumbing and Design, and yung practical problem. Okay? So, ito yung mga instruction from the PRC, no? Kung anong isusuot, meron dyan. Kung anong mga instruction, no? 3 days before the examination, yung mga notices, no? Then, kailangan ka mag-report 5:30 kasi alas 7 yata ang start. But you have to be there like 5:30 on the first day, no? Because you have to do a lot of things first. You find the room, then seat number, then you have to fill out a lot of forms, no? Late examinees will not be admitted, so 5:30. Then may mga dress code sa attire, white polo or shirts with collar, tuck in without any seal, logo or mark, white lang. Decent pants or slacks, no? Decent pants. Female, white blouses or shirt with collar din, no? Parang polo shirt without any seal, no? Walang mga tatak, walang logo or mark. Decent pants or slacks or shirt, no? Then ano ba ang dadalhin during the examination? Notice of admission na talagang schedule mo na mag-exam sa araw na yon, may pangalan ka, may number, no? Official receipt kasi may bayad yon, may fee yata na 600 or so. 2 or more pencils, number 2, may number ng pencil, no? May mga number kasi yung pencil, depende sa kapal. Ballpen with black ink only, hindi pwedeng blue. 1 piece long brown envelope, long envelope para lalagyan mo ng mga papers na mahalaga. Then 1 piece long transparent non-colored, no? So puti lang, transparent plastic envelope for keeping your valuables and other allowed items like yung mga calculator or scratch or mga ballpen, papel, lapis, no? Calculators with the following features only: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, trigonometric function, logarithm, and x to the y, no? Pinakasimple kasi most of the calculators are advanced and you can program, you can do a lot of things. All you have to do is to input the data. So the PRC do not want those calculators, only these basic functions. Yung MDAS, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, trigonometric function, no, or yung may square root, logarithm kasi may mga question na involving logarithm, and x to the y, ibig sabihin raised to the power of, no? So as simple as that. So you can ask a PRC website what are the calculators that are not allowed in the exam, no? Kasi yung iba ay programmable, may mga formula na, then naka input na lahat ng formula. All you have to do is to put the data, no? So the PRC discourage or does not allow that kind of calculator. Then the procedure, no? Ito yung mga procedures sa pag nakapasa na, no? Go to PRC office to obtain oath of form or panunumpa. Do not forget the following when you visit the office: current community tax certificate or cedula, passport size picture colored with the background or complete name tag, 2 sets of meter document stamps, may bayad na document stamps, 1 short brown envelope with name and profession. So ito yung mga instruction: go to the designated counter window, verification officer, and submit the completed oath form for assessment and prescribed fees. Cashier window to pay, bayad ka dyan. Cashier's window sa 4th, 3rd, 4th floor. Only you have paid the registration fee, proceed to the designated registration counter or window. The registration officer will print the registry sheet with the assigned registration license number to be signed and marked by the registrar, no? So titingnan yung bibigay yung pag nakapasa ka na yung license number, no? Bibigyan ka ng registrar ng PRC. After completion of the registry sheet, the issuance officer will give you a claim slip or stub that states when you can claim the professional identification card, no? So, bibigyan ka ng claim stub, anong date, tsaka para makuha mo yung lisensya mo. Okay? So, ngayon, ano ba yung ginagawa talaga ng isang master plumber? No? So, ang master plumber ay kakaiba mo sa ating maaring iniisip, no? Pag sinabing master plumber, hindi ito yung tubero, no? Hindi po 'yon. Halimbawa, may problema, no, nasira yung ano, yung tubo sa kubeta or sa water closet. Normally, ang nasira diyan yung ano, yung sa may reservoir, no, yung sa may lalagyan ng tubig, yung mga float, no, float valve o yung iba pa. O kaya nasira yung na barado yung lababo, yung P-trap. Hindi ka tatawag ng master plumber, no? Ang tatawagin mo ay tubero. Okay? So ang master plumber ay uh, ang Tagalog nito ay sabihin mong puno, no? Punong tubero, no? O bihasa, no? Bihasang tubero, no? Pero actually hindi siya yung gumagawa ng actual na pagkukumpone o pagre-repair, no? So, iba yung tubero, iba yung master plumber. Kasi yung mga master plumber, karamihan dyan, siguro mga 90+% ay engineer at architect. So, ang mga master plumber ay architect, ano pa, civil engineer, mechanical engineer, chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, no, or sanitary engineer. So, architects and engineers ang master plumber. Unless na lang na yung master plumber ay siya rin ang gumagawa kasi may mga ganun, 'di ba? May mga technopreneur no? Sila yung may-ari ng kumpanya or may-ari ng shop, may-ari ng isang entrepreneurial no? Organization. Kumisan yung engineer, yung master plumber, siya na rin ang nag-aayos ng tubo kung wala siyang tubero, no? Pero inuulit natin, hindi gawain ng master plumber ang mag-repair, no? Pag sinabing tubero, ang tawag doon sa English ay pipe fitter. Kung magaling ka na tubero or napakabihasa, master pipe fitter. Okay? So ngayon, anong pagkakaiba ng master plumber at tubero? Oh, ito tama-tama. Meron tayo ditong bakante. So gusto lang nating linawin, no? So ito ay master plumber. Dito naman ay pipe fitter, no, nagpi-fit ng pipe o tubero. So dito karamihan mostly are engineers, no? Mostly are engineers and architects. So meaning they study minimum of 5 years, no? So mga sanitary engineers. Okay? So eto tong pipe fitter trade, no? Tradesman, no? Skill, based on skill, no? Journeyman, ang tinatawag ng journeyman. Pag supervisor na, journeyman yata ang tawag, no? So tradesman, no? Tubero to. Ito yung mga nagre-repair. So anong ginagawa ba ng master plumber? They make it sure na maayos ang pagkakalatag o pagkakaayos ng mga tubo sa bahay para yung tubig ay papasok ng maayos, no? Yung water papasok siya ng maayos, no? Madidistribute sa shower room, sa kusina, sa kubeta, sa bathtub, papunta sa septic tank at lalabas din ng maayos, no? Kung papunta sa septic tank or papunta dun sa kanal, no, or sa kung saan man lalabas. So yung lahat ng yon ay ginagawa ng Master Plumber, at sila ang nagdi-design, no? Design. So when you talk about design, no, ito yung may mga dimension, no? Tsaka dimension, it involves mga units, it involves yung mga materials, no? Material or bill of materials, mga quantity, at sila ang pipirma, no? Signing. Meron silang signing authority, no? Signature, no? So signed by Master Plumber, no? So yun ang kukuhanin ng munisipyo. Sa munisipyo, meron tinatawag na Office of Building Official, no? OBO. Office of the Building Officials. So sila yung uh, pipirma sa plano para aprobahan ng munisipyo or ng local government unit doon, no, sa town or sa city, na maayos yung pagkaka-design ng tubo doon sa tangke, no, pababa sa kusina, sa kubeta, sa sa ating mga kwarto, sa faucet, sa banyo, at yung design ng septic tank, no. Hindi 'yon ginagawa ng isang tubero, hindi nagde-design ang tubero, no, hindi naman pumipirma yung tubero, no. Halimbawa, sa isang eskwelahan o sa isang bahay may ilang rooms, no, paano mo i-design yung dami ng kubeta, no, or ng tinatawag na water closet or yung toilet, no, ilang toilet, o anong kailangan mo. Hindi kaya yan ng isang tubero kasi gagamit ka dyan ng code, no? So, nasa code kung ilan yung mga occupants, no? Tapos, ilan yung area, ilan yung volume, no? So, gagamit ka dyan ng mga design. Merong mga formula na involved dyan kung ilan yung occupants, tapos ano yung volume, yung area, nandun yan sa National Plumbing Code. So pag hindi mo alam yung plumbing code, hindi ka makakapag-design, 'di ba? So ang nagdi-design lang ay yung mga architect or yung mga engineers, sanitary engineers, mechanical engineers na kumuha ng license na master plumber, no? Halimbawa, architect, no? Architect siya pero master plumber din, may lisensya siya ng master plumber. Or civil engineer, gagawa siya ng building or ng bahay, residential. Pwede siyang pumirma kasi may lisensya siya ng master plumber. No? Hindi 'yon kayang gawin ng o hindi 'yon ginagawa ng isang tubero. Hindi siya nagde-design kung um, ilang water closet, no, ilang bathtub. Halimbawa sa hotel, example sa hotel. Halimbawa ang hotel ay may 200 rooms. O ilang CR na pangbabae, no, female, at CR ng male ang kailangan, no? O ilang bathroom ang kailangan kung common or sa hotel or sa school. Halimbawa sa school, 'di ba? May school ka. Oh. So para malaman mo kung ilang ilalagay mo na mga water closet or mga plumbing fixtures, no? Halimbawa yung ihian, no, urinal ng lalaki, ilan, o urinal ng babae, no? Ilan, no? Yan ay nasa code, no? So ilan yung occupants or participants ng isang hall, 'di ba? Or ng isang conference room o ng isang school. Ilan ba yung estudyante sa school? Ilan yung babae, ilan yung lalaki? So mula doon makakapag-design tayo ng number ng mga urinals, no? O ilang water closet, ilang kubeta ba ang dapat pag 200 or 300 or 1,000 mga estudyante o occupants ng isang building. So yung pagdi-design, hindi yan ginagawa ng tubero. Hindi naman pumipirma yung tubero, no, yung ordinaryong tubero, nagre-repair lang yan. Hindi siya pumipirma doon sa plano na sinasubmit doon sa munisipyo o mga plano, no, para aprubahan. Kasi bago ka makapagtayo ng bahay, may mga kailangan kang lisensya, no? So at plano, electrical plan, no, plumbing plan, no, plumbing and sewerage, no, or sanitation plan, no. You have to submit those plan in the office of the building officials in the city or town hall, so that they will study or evaluate it and approve, no, for safety and for standards. So that is how it is, no. So yung mga master plumber naman na karamihan ay arkitekto tsaka engineer, no, arkitekto tsaka engineer, hindi naman sila nagre-repair, no, kasi yung mga tubero, yun yung nagagawa ng thread, 'di ba? Yung mga tubero gumagawa ng thread, no, nagtatapping or internal thread. Sila yung mga nag-assemble ng mga bulb, no, T-bulb, mga trap, no. Hindi gagawin yun ng arkitekto or ng engineer, no, kasi sila na nga yung nagsusupervise or gumawa ng plano. Ito kasi ay based on skill. Ngayon, kung yung engineer or architect, no, may sarili siyang business, no, sole proprietorship, siya na rin yung isa sa mga gumagawa, no, may tauhan siya or wala siyang tauhan, o siya baka pwede na rin gumawa kung may experience siya, no, kung o tumutulong siya sa kanyang tauhan, pwede yun, no. That's a exceptional case, no. Pero ang bottom line, master plumber is the one who designs the piping and plumbing system of a house or a building or a certain structure, katulad ng halimbawa sinihan or gymnasium, no, hindi naman yun residential, no, is sports facility, sports arena. Siya nagdi-design, no, based kung ilan yung gagamit. Siya rin nagdi-design kung anong mga tubo ang gagamitin, yung material, yung layo, yung laki ng tubo, yung size ng diameter ng tubo, yung layo. Ano ba, yung septic tank, yung pinaglalagyan ng dumi ng tao, yung layo sa water supply, yung layo nun sa bahay. Dahil lahat ng yon ay makikita sa plumbing code, no? Meron tayong pinaka-Bible or pinaka-reference natin sa profession na ito. So, I hope malinaw yung difference ng isang tubero at isang master plumber, no? So, master plumber, most of them are architects and engineers, no? Pwede rin naman na experienced tubero tas nag-master plumber, no? Minimum of 5 years experience sa plumbing. Pwede rin naman yung mga non-degree, halimbawa yung kumuha ng TESDA, mga short courses, and then they have 5 years experience. Pwede rin kumuha ng master plumbing licensure exam, no? So may provision yung PRC doon, yung Philippine Regulation or Regulatory Commission, Professional Regulation Commission ng Philippines, who are qualified or bona fide takers of the license, no? So hindi lahat ay makakakuha nito, no? So mayroong mga criteria. Okay? So sabi nga dito, no, according to Google, no, para maging master plumbing, talagang extensive ang training, no? Makakapasa ka ng exam, certification, then the journey takes 7 to 10 years. Now, it doesn't mean na pag nakapasa ka ng exam, alam mo na, no? Nakapasa ka ng exam dahil nag-review ka or nag-aral, no, by theory. Dahil written lang naman yung exam, no, parang master electrician. Pero it doesn't mean na pagkapasa mo, marunong ka na mag-install or experiencado ka na. So it takes time para ma-hone yung skill, no, sa pagbabasa ng plano, sa pag-i-install, yung mga problema, and so on, no. But ang kagandahan nito, pwede kang maging boss, no, pwede kang maging entrepreneur or technopreneur, no, at magkaroon ng comfortable salary or makapasok sa isang prestigious plumbing organization or sanitary and plumbing organization, no, or architectural firm, no. Kasi laging kasama yan sa civil and architecture na mga corporation, no, yung plumbing. Ngayon, kanina, a while ago, we were discussing who are eligible to take the master plumber. As I told you, there are courses in the Philippines that the takers coming from these courses can easily, no, or directly take the Master Plumber licensure examination. This is MPLE, no, Master Plumbing or Plumber licensure exam. If you are a graduate or already a license holder of architecture, kung architect ka na, if you are already a civil engineer, mechanical engineer katulad ko, then electrical engineering, no, I think it needs 5 years pa yata of experience, no, for electrical engineer, then chemical engineer, mining engineer, no. So now, for non-degree courses like yung mga two courses, halimbawa mga drafting, no, halimbawa ang course mo ay drafting, no, or halimbawa nag-aral ka talaga ng pipe fitter sa TESDA, no, or plumbing, kasi may course naman na plumbing, mamaya ipapakita ko. I'll show you that there are really courses, no, based on trade, no, based on discipline, trade discipline, specifically related to plumbing, no, kasi meron ding plumbing ang TESDA NC2 tsaka plumbing NC3, no. So if your course is like this, the PRC will require you to present experience, no, certificate of experience, 5 years. Okay, so if you have 5 years experience related to plumbing, no, plumbing related, then you can apply for the exam provided it is signed, no, signed by a master plumber, no, master registered RMP yan. So signed by registered master plumber, no. So all you have to do is to fill out a form about certificate of experience that is justifying, no, or having a proof, no, na talagang may experience ka sa practice ng plumbing. Halimbawa, nagtutubero ka talaga o inayos mo yung bahay mo or nangamuhan ka. Now, for 5 years, no, accumulated yon. Now, from this month to this month, this month to this month, no, kung hindi naman continuous yung pinapasukan mo. Pero pag pinagsama-sama mo yung mga panahon or buwan na yon at nakaipon ka ng 5 years, pwede mong pa-certify yon at pipirmahan ng isang registered master plumber. Pwede kang mag-apply ng master plumber licensure exam sa PRC, no? PRC, Professional Regulation Commission, no? So let me go ahead. Now, eto yun. May mga non-degree courses, for example, sa TESDA. TESDA stands for Technical Education Skills Development Authority, no? That is the agency of the government that caters or take good care of the skill of the Filipino people, no, regulating and controlling, no, and giving license. So like me, I'm a TESDA TVET NC certificate holder, no. So ako ay may NC 3 sa refrigeration at air conditioning, NC 3 sa mechatronics, no, mechatronics, tsaka NC2 mechatronics, then NC2 rin sa electronics, no, electronic product assembly and servicing, and NC2 din sa EIM, electrical installation and maintenance, no. So ito yung mga hawak ko na mga NC o national certificate. Even sa abroad, kilalang kilala yung TESDA o TESDA, yung TVET na TVET system kasi yan eh. TESDA is our agency in the Philippines, but in the whole world it is under the TVET, technical vocational education training or technology na TVET, technical vocational education training, no. So if we're gonna take a look at this, there's a plumbing NC1, and these are the kind of syllabus, no, na take upin mo, and then you are going to spend 428 hours for this, no. So anong mahalaga dito? Yung mga tools, no, mag-prepare ka ng pipe, making piping joints and connection. Siyempre, tuturuan ka na mag-thread, no? You are going to study threading or tapping, then mag-join ka ng mga reducer and larger, mga T, mga trap, and so on. Then, performing minor construction works, no? So, sa lahat kasi ng mga construction, no, laging may tubo sa bahay o sa planta, lahat yan ay mga kailangan ng tubo, no, sa mga paggawa ng beer o paglilinis or even paggamit sa CR, talagang laging may tubo. Lalo na dun sa mga mga planta halimbawa ng beer, no, yung mga liquid, soft drinks, mga chemicals. So puro tubo diyan, mga plumbing and piping, kailangan yan. So napaka-basic nito sa isang engineering field, no. So ngayon meron ding NC2, no. Eto naman yung sa NC2, nandyan din yung mga kurso at yung mga gagawin, no? Yung mga students guidelines ng kanilang ma-acquire na skill. So dito meron silang merong ilan to? 162, 60 plus na oras. So if you are a graduate of DESTA and TESDA and you have certificate, then you have experience for 5 years, then pwede ka ring uh, take nito, no? Or kahit hindi ka graduate ng TESDA, basta may experience ka na 5 years at may pipirma na registered Master Plumber, all you have to do is to fill out this kind of form. It says Certificate of Experience, no? So, name of company, office, tapos, ano to? Okay, yung address and so on. Then, eto, no? So, eto yung mga date, tapos ano yung ginawa mo, specific function. So, pwedeng iba-iba yung mga experience mo at iba-iba yung date. So, ito total mo yon, dapat maka 5 years ka para makapag-apply ka sa registered Master Plumber Licensure exam, no? Pero kung engineer ka na, halimbawa architect ka na, civil engineer, mechanical, chemical, and mining, pwede kang mag-apply after mo mag-review. Pwedeng self-review, pwede ring formal review. Kasi naaaral naman to, di ba? May mga libro, marami namang libro, no? Pwede ring mag-review, mga review center. Later I will cite some review centers. No, it's not a promotion, but I just got them from social media, no? May mga review centers, meron ding mga blogs, may mga group chat, may mga public groups about plumbing, no? So let us verify this electrical engineering, no? So Master Plumber for electrical engineer engineer. Na tingnan natin kung ano yung requirement, no, para sigurado tayo, no? Hala, ano to? So PRC, ay plumber, PRC. Ayan, no? Master Plumbing Professional Regulation, no? Hanapin natin yung para sa electrical engineer, because I've read na it requires an electrical engineer to have a kind of a 5 years experience, now 5 years. List of requirements. Eto. Okay, eto. So we are right now in the web page of PRC, PRC stands for the Professional Regulation Commission. It is the government body, government agency that regulates, controls, and updating the standards for the different professions. So, Master Plumbing, anong mga kailangan? National Statistics Office or Philippine Statistic Authority, birth certificate, PSA, marriage contract, no, for female, transcript of records, TOR, with scanned pictures and remarks for board examination purposes. No? So yung TOR mo, merong picture and nakalagay board examination purposes. So ang payment ay 600, you have to pay 600. Now, who are eligible to take BS in architecture, mechanical engineering, katulad ko, mechanical engineer ako, civil engineer, chemical, and mining. Di ba? Tama yung nandun sa ating slides. So, ang kailangan ng mga ganitong graduate or engineer na transcript of records with special order. No? So, the government, for example, the CHED is the one issuing SO, no? Parang service order to eh. Transcript of records na talagang tapos ka ng engineering, or kung may license ka na, i-present mo yung license mo, because SO is for those who are newly graduate and those who are not yet taken or had not taken any licensure exam. So, pag meron ka ng lisensya, pwede mo nang i-present rin yun. No? Of course, meron ka rin namang laging TOR, no? So, for non-degree holders, we are discussing how about those who are non-degree holders, no? Hindi pwedeng elementary, no? Kasi may mga requirement kasi ng educational attainment before you take a certain licensure. So, ang minimum ay high school diploma, tapos or may transcript of records ka kung hindi 5-year or 4-year, no? Kasi meron din namang mga 2-year or 3-year na na mga technology based, no? Pero hindi sila considered na degree, no? Kasi diploma lang eh, no? Hindi umabot ng 4 na taon o 5 taon. Hindi sila under ng CHED. Notarized certificate of experience, yung pinakita nating form kanina, signed by registered master plumber, no? So, as I was telling, kailangan ang pumirma ay registered master plumber also, whose date of registration is prior to the date of employment, no? So bago ka na-register ka muna, no? Bago ka na-register sa employment mo. Certificate of employment or service record, BSEE graduate. So, halimbawa, graduate ka ng electrical engineering, 5 years experience. Yun, no? So 5 years experience, ito yung sinasabi nila. Kung electrical engineering ka, hingan ka ng 5 years experience, no? Bago ka makapag-take. Okay? So yun ang sinasabi ng PRC. So there's a lot of information from PRC, and you could more or less browse that by yourselves, no? So, sinasabi lang natin, ito yung mga graduates ng ganitong engineering field ang pwedeng mag-take ng Master Plumber Board Exam, which is a 2-day, and then February at July, no? So, this coming February 20 and 21 ang tentative schedule, but of course it depends on the PRC still kung matutuloy, kung anong plano nila o kung paano ang gagawin, because we are still under pandemic or COVID pandemic period wherein may restrictions sa pag-gather, no, o sama-sama ng mga tao. So we already taken that up, and then baka may mga magtanong, there might be questions, what about sanitary engineering? Yung sanitary engineering is not like master plumbing. So sanitary engineering in the Philippines is a formal engineering degree course. So there are universities that are offering sanitary engineering. So ito yung galing sa Commission of Higher Education, no, memorandum order, na talagang mayroong sanitary engineering, and it's updated like other engineering field, no, na ina-update ng CHED, Commission on Higher Education, ano yung mga syllabus, ano yung mga subject na dapat i-retain, na dapat maisama, no? Kasi ina-update because syllabus are kind of living animal, like a dynamic document, no? So it should be relevant to the time, no? Kung ano yung kailangan ng panahon. So kung titingnan nyo dito, if we're going to see this, so this is from higher education, and it explains about the the sanitary engineering as a formal course. Now, I researched in the internet, and I found out that in Metro Manila there are universities or known universities, recommended universities that offer environmental and sanitary engineering. Look at this, Mapua University, a very known university for engineering. They are offering Bachelor of Science in Environmental and Sanitary Engineering. The cost is also here, 130,000 to 5,000 per year, no? Dito naman ay Manuel Quezon University, MLQU, private din to. A little bit cheaper, 48 to 50,000 per year. Then meron ding TIP sa Cubao, no? Meron din sila sa Arlegue o sa Manila. Then this one is also private, 70,000 to 76,000. So kung gusto mong mag-aral ng sanitary engineering, part of their curriculum is this, no, yung plumbing and environment, which is most part of the master plumbing na kurso. So kumbaga, if you are a sanitary engineer and then you want to become a master plumber again, no? Master plumber, you want to be a holder of master plumber license, you can also do so, and then you are at a very good advantage, high advantage, because most of the core courses ng master plumbing is kasama na sa sanitary engineering, no? So tingnan natin, no? So para ano natin yung CHED, yan, CHED syllabus of sanitary engineering yan. So eto, um, yan, the same as what I have researched a while ago. So it is about sanitary engineering coming from the CHED, Commission on Higher Education. Nandito yung mga syllabus, nandito yung mga subject. Kung titingnan nyo, ito yung mga subject, no? Kung nakikita nyo, ito yun, no? Yung tungkol sa mga environment, sa mga tubig, no? Hydraulics, hydrology, ayan, sanitary engineering law, contracts, geotechnical engineering, no, sa mga soil, environmental and sanitary chemistry, no, microbiology, so yung mga bacteria, alam nila yan, public health engineering, occupational health and safety, solid and hazardous waste engineering, meron sila, no, solid and hazardous waste, environmental planning, loss and impact assessment, meron sila niyan, water supply planning and development, so yung mga water supply, no, galing sa tangke o sa tubig o sa mga district, water district, no, sewerage and urban drainage, no, kung paano mo i-dispose yung mga tubig, no, sa subdivision, sa mga bahay, sa mga planta papunta sa labas, no, kung sa ilog man or sa dagat, meron sila niyan. Ito, sanitary science, fire protection, and plumbing as applied to buildings. So meron sila swak na swak, no? It's aptly fitted to the master plumbing licensure examination because they have sanitary science, fire protection, and plumbing as applied to buildings. Then they have also sanitary engineering laboratory, water purification, no? Kung ano yung pag-purify, no, pag-treat ng tubig, sewage and industrial wastewater treatment, no, kung paano mag-treat ng mga industrial waste, no, bago mo itapon sa ilog, no. So may mga water treatment kasi yung mga planta or yung mga isang malalaking structure katulad ng mga building, mga subdivision, no. Tapos meron silang sanitary engineering project 1 and 2, no. So ito ang pinakamalapit na kurso para sa isang master plumber, no. So I think nakakapirma rin sila ng mga ganong plano, no. But if they want to have a license of master plumber, depende na sa kanila yon, no? So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, ay, we are going to zoom in or blow up. So ito, no, yung TESDA rin ay nag-offer ng NC1 at NC2 national certificate, no? But if you want to go on further para sa master plumbing course, I mean master plumbing licensure exam, na pwede silang pumirma, pwede silang mag-compute, sila magde-design kung ilang kubeta, kung ilang bathtub, kung ilang water closet, kung ilan yung sink, kung ilan yung lababo, kung ilan yung shower room, no, sa isang condominium, no, or sa isang sabihin mong dormitory, or sa isang gymnasium, no, o isang football arena or gymnasium, or anumang bahay kung ilang floor. So, sila ang pipirma nun, sila ang magde-decide kung paano papasok yung tubig, no? Anong mga tubo, anong mga material, anong mga equipment ang gagamitin. So, yun ay trabaho ng isang master plumber at nakabase yun sa code, no? Nakabase yun sa code, no, ng Master Plumbing Code of the Philippines, no? Now, punta na tayo sa organization. Meron bang organization ang mga master plumber? Yung mga licensed master plumber. Ang accredited na organization ay National Master Plumbers Association of the Philippines. I think sila yung gumagawa din ng code. No? They are the body. It is the organization behind the drafting and the writing of the plumbing code, no, as early as before, no, since time na nauna pa, sila yung gumagawa nun, no, yung National Master Plumber Association of the Philippines. Sila yung nag-organize ng mga oath taking, no, sila yung nag-endorse halimbawa sa mga board examiner, no, or karamihan galing sa kanila din yung mga board examiner, mga experience, mga officers na yan, no. So meron ding ibang organization, I think ito ay Philippine Society of United Master Plumbers. I think they came from NAMPAP, baka bumukod sila, nagsarili sila, no. Wala namang pipigil doon. So it's just an organization for the betterment and for the improvement or the the optimization of service ng master plumbers, no. So Philippine Society of United Master Plumbers. So PSUMP, no. PSUMP, no. So nagbibigay din sila ng mga review, nagbibigay sila ng exam, mga libreng exam, makikita nyo sa sa social media katulad ng Facebook tsaka ng YouTube. Meron silang mga lecture, mga webinar na libre. So, maganda, may mga organization na ganito, NAMPAP tsaka PSAMP, para mapalawak, no, at mapaunlad, ma-improve natin yung master plumbing practice. Ngayon, sa mga review center, marami namang review centers, no. Mag-type lang kayo review centers for plumbers, no. So normally under dyan yung mga mechanical, may civil, may architects, no. So pag may mga review centers sa architecture tsaka civil, nandun din yung review centers sa master plumber, kasi normally yung isang architect nag-aral din ng plumbing or nag-lisensya rin, kumuha din ng lisensya ng master plumbing, so he can administer the review center, no. Ang importante lang dito, dapat pinapatakbo ito ng registered master plumber, no, tsaka accredited sa PRC, kasi yung mga review center mayroon yang ng PRC, no, license. So katulad nito, no, Atlas Career Development, I think it is based sa Manila or sa Kamuning. So tingnan nyo, architect, civil engineer, environmental plumber, planner, master plumber. So master plumber. So meron ding sa Facebook, meron din, no, tsaka sa YouTube, master plumber ebooks and review materials. Libre to, makakakuha kayo ng mga material in forms of electronics, no, electronic form, mga PDF and so on. So eto, master plumber review na makikita nyo, hindi ako nagpo-promote, pero makikita nyo naman to sa mga pag sinearch nyo sa Facebook or sa internet, no, a review center for master plumber in the Philippines, no? So marami pang iba kasi yung ano meron din yata yung organization ng ano, MEPF, Mechanical, Electrical, uh, Plumbing, tsaka Fire. No, tingnan natin. I think some of their members have this business. So MEPF. So this one is organizational to, pero I think yung mga member nila may mga kanya-kanyang business. Nasa eto, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection, no? So tingnan nyo, meron siyang ito, design ng septic tank, no? Pwede mo tong i-click or pwede mong atinan, i-like ko, no? So preparation of plumbing sanitary plans, no? So pwede ka makakuha ng mga libreng lecture dito how to design a septic tank, no? So eto 'yon, no? So tingnan mo lang yung mga schedule and yung mga schedule ng kanilang mga webinar, no? Practical electrical design, no? Sa electrical naman to. Meron ding design of swimming pool kung ikaw ay sanay na, so swimming pool na, no? Yung mga tubo doon, yung mga pump, yung mga pipings, no? Parliamentary procedure and so on. No? So MEPF, eto, no? So Power Engineering Philippinization, no? Master Plumbing, yan, Master Plumbing. Eto, MPF Center, MEPF Plumbing, yeah. So ito is another organization, MEPF Plumbing. I think ito, Master Plumber Online Review. I think it is headed by Engineer William. Ito, no? William JJ. Kasi lagi kong pinapanood yung kanyang lecture sa Master Plumbing. So if you want to have a review on his review center, this one, no? So review starts on March 1, 2021. Regular July 21 regular review, no? So sa para sa July, March, no? Ngayong February kasi malapit na, no? Isang buwan na lang. So ito Master Plumber 1 online review Pilipinas. So ito, no? Tingnan natin 'yan. Master Plumber 1. So kung gusto nyong mag-review, marami namang makikitang review center dito. Meron din sa Laguna, no? Parang Ibanez yata 'yon. No? So yun yung mga review center, ito yung mga group, no? Master Plumber ebooks and review materials, then mga mga grupo ng mga tungkol sa master plumbing, no? So meron siya mga group chat na malalaking organization, yan, no? Master Plumber Online, registered Master Plumber, tapos ito nga isa yung ACE review kanina sa ating ACE review, no? Pwede kang mag-review ng Master Plumber. So lahat ng 'yan makikita mo sa Facebook. You can see this in Facebook, no? And sa YouTube, marami ding mga review, no? Actually libre para makapag-review ka. So if you are very keen, if you are very earnest and serious in reviewing, you can review by yourself, no? Marami sa YouTube, sa Facebook, ina-explain. So basta focus lang. Sa isang banda naman, kung may pambayad ka ng review center, maganda rin naman na may nagtuturo, may mapagtatanungan ka. So ganun lang 'yon, no? So meron tayong sample ng board exam questions, and it is about practice problem, no? Practical problems. 'Di ba yung pang-apat natin na board exam subject ay practical, no? Practical problem. So 'di ba nakita natin 'yon? Ano yung mga content? Balikan ko Ito. Ito, plumbing arithmetic, sanitation plumbing design and installation. Then plumbing code 10%. Ito 10% sa arithmetic. Ito yung plumbing design installation 40. Then another 40% is practical problem. So yun ang sa sample natin, we are going to uh, tackle some questions about practical problems. So let me just edit those. Sample questions for practical problems. No? Practical problems. Yan. So this is another 40%. Now, so ilagay ko, I'm gonna put it 40%. Yan. So, ito yung ating take upin ngayon, no? 40%. Mag-sample tayo and we'll just have some 5 minutes break.